Hello, good people. This is series 2 of my weekly recap. Uh, this week didn't have a lot. Actually, didn't have a lot on my plate. Fortunately or unfortunately, it was a very, very restful week, and I did a couple of things at the same time. Like I did go to coffee school. I did go swimming and stuff like that. So this was basically the start of my week. I was having breakfast while getting entertained briefly before I had to head out to school. And over there, I was having sweet potatoes with my black tea. So this was me in a matatu going to school. This is one of the footbridges that I needed to cross just so, while on my way to school. And then I needed to go to Allsops. This is the Allsops main stage, and then another footbridge. I feel like this is one of the major or biggest footbridges in Nairobi, or maybe I should say the biggest ones that I personally have used. And I didn't have a lot else, or rather I didn't record much on that day. So a different day now. Again, I'm preparing to go to school, so I was trying to just make my hair. Would you believe I was crouching because the mirror, like I'm way taller than the mirror, so I was looking at a mirror. There's a mirror towards that side, so I was looking at myself on in the mirror, and I need to bend or crouch to be able to see my face on that mirror. Then fast forward to when I got to school. On this particular day, we were doing practicals. So I love when we do practicals. We do practicals weekly, and that's basically making everything that we learn in theory, and we use the actual ingredients to make them. For instance, this is one of my classmates, should I say, or should I say colleagues? It feels a bit awkward saying classmates. So he was making an Americano here and a long black. The difference with the two, they are not made using milk. You just use water and an espresso. For the Americano, you add your espresso shot, then add hot water into an espresso shot. Basically what he's doing currently. And the first one that he made is the long black, which is basically hot water, then add your espresso shot into the hot water. So the second thing that we are making here, let me see if I can follow along. So the second thing that we're making here is an espresso cubano. This is basically how you add your coffee grinds to the portafilter, and then you attach the portafilter to the espresso machine. This is an espresso cubano, which is basically coffee grinds, and then you top it with sugar. Then you add it to your espresso and espresso. Definitely it's gonna come out with a lot of it's gonna be sugary espresso compared to your normal espresso. So here he has attached the portafilter to the espresso machine. You put your cup under the portafilter so that when the machine starts extracting, it goes into your cup, and that is extraction happening basically. So these are just behind the scenes of what baristas do when you order your coffee, and that's the espresso cubano. So it's majorly an espresso shot, but then it has sugar that was added to the rinds. Over here, I was trying to capture one of my classmates doing frothing. So frothing is basically adding your milk to this pitcher, and then you put this steam wand inside the milk. The steam wand produces heat, or rather directs heat into the milk, and then it makes it frothy and it makes it hot or warm. And this is what is added to the coffee that has been espressed to make the different coffees, such as the latte, cappuccino. Those are the ones that mostly use milk. Americano and the long black don't use milk. So for this part, he was making a cappuccino, which needs one espresso shot and then like an equal amount of milk. and then he tried to do some art on it. We call it latte art. So you just draw something on the surface, and the most common latte arts are a heart or a tulip. So this is him attempting to do a tulip now. Still, this is a cappuccino, and that was the result of that was the result of his latte art. But the cappuccino looks great, if I may say so. The art might need some work. We are still working on it. This is another way to do your art. Just put drops of froth on the surface of your drink and then run a pointed something like a toothpick around them, and then you'll get hurt. So he was trying something, but he messed up and ended up just doing Madogodhanio. I hope if he ever watches this video, we're just going to laugh about that and we're not going to hold any grudges. And then it was my turn to do some frothing, and of course I wanted to be recorded as well, just for record's sake. So here I was frothing milk, and after each froth you are required and expected to purge the steam wand. That is, just turn it on shortly and then turn it off, and then wipe it properly so that the next person can use the steam wand when it's clean. So this is how we made the latte, the coffee latte, which requires a shot of espresso, and then you add milk into it. But this time the milk is going to be a bit more compared to what you'd need for a cappuccino, and then your milk shouldn't have too much foam. So the foam layer, which is at the top of it's going to settle on the top of your drink, shouldn't be thick at all. So that's a cafe latte. Next up, so he went again ahead to froth some more milk. This time around we were gonna make a mocha. So that is the frothed milk. You can see he wiped his steam wand afterwards. So a mocha is basically an espresso shot plus syrup, plus we use cocoa powder. So he is just decorating his mug using the chocolate syrup. This is to give it some form of appeal, and it's also part of the ingredients for your mocha. So next up he added the espresso, the shot of espresso, and then this was like a shot of cocoa powder. Should I call it cocoa powder? Really, hot cocoa basically. So we had made hot cocoa separately, the espresso separately. You add the espresso first, you add the hot cocoa, and then you add your milk, and you are welcome to decorate if you want. He tried to draw a heart, but well, that didn't work out, unfortunately. And then you can use your cocoa powder to garnish at the top of your drink. You can use it to garnish. Just sprinkle a bit of it on the top of your drink, and that was the result. Next up, we made a macchiato. So what a macchiato is one shot of espresso. You can see from the size of that cup, you can tell that it is a shot of espresso, like just one shot. And then on the top of it, you add foam. You add foam from the frothed milk, and that is how you make a macchiato. After we made a macchiato, the next thing that you're gonna make was a latte macchiato. So what a latte macchiato is milk. First you start with milk, add your milk to the cup or mug or glass, and then you're gonna add your espresso shots inside the milk, but then you're supposed to try and layer it. It's supposed to be a layer, sort of. So he tried to layer it. It was his first try though, and it didn't go so well, but you can tell there's a top layer, but then the coffee did not layer as properly as it should. So we decided to make an iced latte macchiato, and then someone else will try to layer it so that we can see like how a macchiato actually should look. So either way, for these drinks you have to use frothed milk. And so with the iced latte macchiato, you start with your ice cubes and then you add your frothed milk. So the next thing is your espresso shot. So the lady in frame currently is actually our trainer, so she's been at it for quite a while now, and you can even tell from how she's doing it that she's done this again and again. And here she's trying to layer the espresso shot into the milk without allowing the coffee to go down into the milk, so it's gonna remain slightly at the top of the glass. So from the bottom you have your milk, which takes like a huge chunk of the glass, then you have your layer of the coffee, and then at the top you have a slight layer of your milk. And that's how you actually do a latte macchiato. So a macchiato has layers basically, and that's how a proper macchiato looks. Eventually we were done with our practicals, and then we went home to rest up. And here I'm just showing one of our cats that we have at home, and that's my sister in frame, watching one of her favorite YouTubers. You can clearly see that we have a clingy cat and we have a very nonchalant one. So these cats are sisters. They were brought to us by their mother. Their mother gave birth to them in the backyard, and we had helped in sort of taking care of it during that period when it was weak and vulnerable, and then immediately it got strong, it went away with all its kittens. We felt so bad, but anyway, like 2 months later it just brought one kitten and went away, and then we just took it in, and the next day it brought a second kitten and went away, and we took it in. So that's how we ended up with these 2 kittens. Yeah, one very clingy one and one very nonchalant one. So fast forward to the next day, I wasn't going to school and I had missed swimming. So I decided to go swimming, and this is me just running around trying to pack what I'd need for swimming. I convinced my sister to take me, or rather to go with me for swimming. And here we had alighted from the bus and we were just doing a short walk to the gate that would lead to the pool. The pool is in a school called Edelville, which is near the Greenspan Mall. That is the pool on a weekday. It wasn't crowded at all, which is why I opted to go on a weekday. I don't appreciate going swimming when it's crowded and the folks have brought all their kids and everything. So I mostly opt to go on weekdays. And that is what you'd expect basically. You'd expect to have a lot of pool space to yourself, because I do swim. I don't go to just sit in water. I do swim, and I love to have some space instead of always bumping into people. And the first thing you are supposed to do when you get to the pool before you get into the water is take a shower to try and wash off like your lotion or dust in case you walked. Yeah, something like that. And I think also try to regulate your body temperature before you take a dip in the pool. Yeah, so yeah, fast forward to me in the pool, just trying to enjoy the pool, trying to get active in the pool so that my body will not get too cold. When I tell you that I am a fish in the water, just know it's not a lie. It's not a lie. I might exaggerate, but I will not lie. So I didn't stay in the pool for too long. It got cold and I just didn't feel like it. I think I stayed in the water for an hour and I was out. And then immediately I got out, the sun came out and I basked a bit. Then we just left in like after an hour of basking. On that particular day, I was craving some bajia. So I call them bajia, but I've been corrected before that these are not bajia, and I always forget what they're called. But I call them bajia because the method of cooking is more or less the same. You're basically going to peel your potatoes, cut them into those shapes, and then you're going to make batter separately. You're going to make batter, add your spices if you like spices. I use ginger and garlic, and then turmeric for the color. You can use the egg yellow color if you do not have turmeric. I also add coriander to the batter, and then add water. And then do not make it too watery. It's supposed to have a thick consistency. When it's too watery, it doesn't like stick to the potatoes as well as you'd like for it to. So once you dip them in your batter, don't dip them in there for too long. Just dip them a few minutes before you dip them in the hot oil, because if you leave the potatoes in the batter, they tend to lose water and the batter becomes watery as you go on. So what I do is, just as I remove the batch that is cooking, I add potatoes and then add them into the oil, so it doesn't stay in the batter for too long. That way the batter can try and maintain its thick consistency. Then once I was done cooking with the batter that was left, I tried to make this pancake. I thought I would eat it, but it had too many spices. I wasn't able to stomach it. And that's the oil that remained. I put it in a smaller sufuria and let it cool, and then put it in the fridge for reuse later. And as for the pancake, I gave it to the cats. I mixed it up with some cat food and then fed it to the cats, and they actually ate it up really, really nicely. They enjoyed it. So the black tea that I was taking at the start of the video, this is how I make it. I do not do white tea. Most times I make my own black tea, and the spices I use for my black tea are ginger tea leaves, black pepper, that was cardamom, and then these are cloves. Just add everything into the sufuria, add a little bit of water, and then let it boil fast. After it has properly boiled and I feel like the spices have mixed with the water properly, then and only then can I add like more water and then bring it to a boil. But I don't add too much heat because I want it to boil sort of slowly. Then when it's ready, I just let it cool and then store it in the fridge, and that is basically my tea for like a week. So that was me making my supply of tea for a couple of days. It's gonna serve me like a couple of days. So fast forward to the weekend. This was me trying to do some house cleaning. I was home alone for the weekend, so I decided to do some major house cleaning. So I just sped up the video, and then I had a bit of unboxing to do. A new microwave came and I had to unbox it and set it up, and that's how it looks. It's a Hisense. The old one was an LG. It had been there for quite a while and needed to just go. And then later in the day, I got a guest who came to visit me, and luckily for us, I had some yogurt, bananas, and mango in the fridge. And from what I'm learning, the last video we did smoothies, so I decided to do a smoothie for us, and this is a mango banana smoothie. It looks so good. And that's a recap of my week. I hope you had a wonderful week on your end. See you in the next video. Bye.